Faxon, the Faxon barreled action, the FX7, that's the one that got me in this last build. I was trying to do an economy build with the LSS3 MDT chassis. It's a modular chassis. I wanted to do a tactical build. So I found this barreled action on sale. It's a great starter action. We'll go through a couple of things on it right now that might be beneficial to you or you might be interested in. It's not the smoothest action. It's not replacing the foul cores, the impacts, the lone peak fusions. All those are awesome tactical actions, and they have their place and their dollar amount for that price. But this one, for the money, is a great little action. You do have to do a little work with it. Let's get it out of the box, and then I'll show you some of the features real quick. So the first thing we think about is the bolt. This is a 3-lug bolt, so a 70-degree pull. That 70-degree pull makes it really short when you're picking it up. It does create a little heavier bolt lift, so be aware of that. I usually run my bolts, put my thumb on top of the receiver or on top of the chassis and tilt up with the bolt. It comes up very smooth, and then slide it on back. The original bolt, the way it was a little gritty going in and out. They do a nitride or DLC coating, but it's not super smooth. Let's say a little rough going in and out. So I put a little lapping compound or a very light abrasive compound just on the bearing surface or the bolt itself. You'll notice the bolt is oversized than the lugs. That bolt itself, I just put a little bit on there and then ran that thing back and forth about 100 times and moved it around, and it cleaned up a little bit. You'll see some of the material is worn off the bolt there. That's just cleaning up those high spots so it rides smoother. Now it's a nice smooth action. Besides that, the fit and finish Faxon did on this is really well. You know, the coatings are nice and even across it. The one I got was a barreled action. It had a 24-inch 6.5 Creedmoor. So we're going to grab that out of the box too, just so you know what I'm talking about. Of course, the barreled action didn't come with the trigger, but I wanted to throw the trigger on there so you can see that it has a trigger hanger. The hanger has screws, Allen screws that hold that hanger on. I wish they would have used Torx or Allens, but it is Phillips head screws. And once you have that trigger in there, those pins are trapped inside of the receiver so they can't come out. One other thing, it is cut for AW mags. That's pretty nice. Some of your earlier custom actions were just AICS. This one is AW cut, so if you want to do that double stack magazine, you can. That 3-lug bolt, it stays in line and doesn't tilt because of that groove right there that goes into the bolt stop. So you need to line that up with a bolt stop. Once the bolt stop pops in, you see it's not going to rotate off axis, and you're good to go. They do have a bolt stop that's an inline bolt stop. Your opinion on that is up to you. Inlines do pretty good. I like the vertical one that Falcor does a little better. I think it's a little stronger, but this is a great one. Has roll pins that's holding that bolt stop in, so if you ever needed to replace it, you would have to get those roll pins out, okay? Does have an integrated rail, which is nice, and an integrated recoil lug. I think for the money, this barreled action is pretty awesome. This one is in 6.5 Creedmoor, like I said before. It's a 1-8 twist. It does come threaded with a nice thread protector. So just know that if you're looking for an entry-level barreled action to start that custom build, Faxon might be the one. You might check out Christensen Arms also, or Bagara. All of them are doing barreled actions that you can buy. Throw that in a nice custom chassis and you're going to have a home run. I'm not going to say this is going to shoot as well as my custom barreled custom guns. This is a button rifle barrel versus a cut rifle barrel, but it shoots pretty good. So far, I've only got a couple test rounds, and it's shooting just under a 1/2 inch. You know, 3 right in a cluster, and I usually have 1 little flyer. But I'm going to do a little load development for this, and then the other thing I was really wanting to do is have a shorter barrel. So I ended up ordering an outlier barrel. That thing just came in, so hopefully we'll do a couple more rounds with this, put that outlier barrel on there, and just see how that one performs. A budget barrel on a budget action, see if we can make a home run with it. Thanks a lot. Stay tuned. Subscribe if you'd like. I'm going to try to get some more videos out there. Thanks a lot. David Henry, checking out.